welcome back to Beyond Studio Pilates. My name's Hannah and today I'm going to take you through a really gentle resistance band workout. So this is going to be really beneficial if you are coming back from any kind of injury. This is just going to really mobilise and help to work your legs in particular, but we are going to look at some upper body work as well. So we're going to start with some ribcage breathing. So you can either be sitting in cross-legged or you can come to sitting in diamond, whichever is more comfortable for you. Then you're just going to take hold of your bands, which mine have got in a muddle with each other. You just take hold of your band and you're going to bring your band around your middle. So it's just kind of at the bottom of your rib cage. You're holding onto that band there. And then what I want you to focus on is really breathing into the band. So thinking about pushing out with your lungs from the side and the back. So we're really breathing and expanding that rib cage. So we're going to inhale here. Really feel that band expand, and then exhale. Feel it release off. So you can hold the band like this if you want to, so that you can feel that band expand through your fingers. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now what I want you to focus on as well is as you exhale, I want you to think about that diaphragm. As you've inhaled, it's moved down, and then as you exhale, it comes back up into your chest, and your pelvic floor also draws up. So really try and feel that connection between your diaphragm and your pelvic floor. Scoop that pelvic floor up at the same time. So band around your chest, holding onto your band however is comfy, and we're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 3 more breaths like this, really scooping up that pelvic floor. Final time. Okay. Then from here we're going to go on to a side bend. So you can stay sitting cross-legged or you can bring yourself into diamond if that is more comfortable. And again, you're just going to hold the band above your head, just in between your fingers. Check in with that rib to hip connection, so make sure you haven't flared your ribs forward. And then we're just going to gently bend to the side and then back to the middle. Bend to the side and then back to the middle. So just bend as far as you feel comfy. Think about your arms staying over your head, so your elbow stays in line with your ear, your arms aren't coming in front of you. Thinking about that breathing, make sure you're breathing thoracically, so still wide thoracic breaths. One more to each side. Okay, then from here we're going to come on to another little arm exercise. So again, you can pick how you have your legs. You're going to bring the band up in the air behind you and then grab hold of it with your bottom arm as well. And then you're just going to pull that band back to the ceiling, trying to keep the bottom hand still, so you can kind of plant it in your lower back and then just stretching out through that top. So we're working into that tricep, nice tricep extension. Keep sitting tall, core engaged. So think belly button to spine, ribs to hips. Final 2 here. And final 1. And then we're going to swap hands. So bringing those hands so they're in the other direction. And then raise. Final 3. Sitting tall. Final 2. And final one. And then bring the arm back down. From here, we're going to bring our legs out so they're long in front of us, and we're going to look at a leg extension. So I'm going to go for a harder resistance band here. So you could do the same if you have a couple, or you could just continue with the one you've got. Then from here, you're going to hold it like reins. So in between your fingers and then thumbs over the top. Bring that leg in. You'll need to take in a little bit more band. This also works with an inner tube. Just make sure you cut the valve off so you haven't got that metal bit anywhere near you, so that's gone. So you've got a long piece of band instead of a loop. Then you're going to lift that heel off the floor and you're just going to push forward. Now what I want you to focus on is that your hips stay level. So try not to move your pelvis backwards as you extend that leg forward. Keep your hips next to each other and just extend out through that leg. When you extend that leg out, remember you're not locking out that knee joint, so we're protecting the knee, just going to as far as you can without locking that knee joint. Now we're just going to do one set of these today, but you could go back and do a second set if you find this exercise really beneficial for building strength in those legs, but without obviously loading them with your whole body. So you're in control of how much load you put through the resistance band, which is what is so great about resistance bands, is that you can pick how hard you work. So we're going to move on to the other foot now. So other foot into the band, sitting tall, find those sit bones, keep them on the floor, core engaged, nice and tall, and then push away. And then release. So as you release that leg back in, remember, don't let it kind of snap you back into position. You're holding and maintaining that resistance on the way in and the way out. Three more here. And two. And final one. And then letting that resistance go, bring that leg back out, and from here we're going to move on to our backs. So we're going to do a single leg circle. So this is a really lovely exercise for your hips. So you're coming down onto your back. The first thing we need to think about is that setup. So your feet, knees and hips are in a line. Core engaged, so pulling your ribs down towards your hips, belly button to spine. Little gap remains under that low back, so make sure you haven't flattened your back off into the mat. Pelvis stays in neutral, so if you put your palms on your hip bones, fingers down towards your pubic bone, they should be in a straight line. There shouldn't be a tilt in your pelvis. Make sure your eye line is to the ceiling. You're not tucking your head backwards or bringing your chin towards your chest. Your head is nice and neutral. Just give those shoulders a little wiggle. Make sure there's no tension in that upper body. From here, you're going to straighten your right leg out along the floor, bring your left leg up and into the band. So just placing the band around your foot. Now, you might be able to extend your leg completely, or you might need to have a bent knee. Pick where you feel comfortable, and then you're just going to hold it there. Going to imagine you've got a crayon in between your toes, and we're going to draw a nice big circle on the ceiling. So you're in control of how big your circle is. You might want to make it small to start with and then go a little bit bigger. And I want you to just draw your attention to your core muscles. Make sure you're using those core muscles to keep your hips nice and still, so your whole body isn't rolling around. That would do you no good at all. So your core is keeping your body nice and stationary whilst your leg creates its circle. So the movement is coming from in that hip joint, not from your pelvis rocking around. And the band just really helps you here. You could do this with a pair of tights if you don't have a band. And then we're going to take it in the other direction. Keep making belly button to spine, core engaged. Keeping those hips really still. So everything stays still, just your leg is moving. And two. and 1, and then bringing the other leg up, placing the other foot into the band, taking that left leg out so it's long along the floor. Core engaged, and then starting with your circle. So keep your back in neutral, make sure you're not pushing your back into the mat as you bring that leg towards you. And this is a good exercise for telling whether there's any imbalance in any muscles. So can you make a bigger circle on one leg than the other? I know I can. And that's because one hip is tighter than the other. So this is a good exercise for kind of working out how your body is coping with your main sport. Mine's cycling, and I know that my hip flexors are really tight from cycling, and this is a great exercise just to loosen them up. One side is always looser than the other. Okay, taking your circle in the other direction. Just drawing a circle on the ceiling. Keep that core engaged so your trunk is really stabilized. You're not rocking around. And final 3. And 2. And final 1. And then just gently bending, taking that band off your leg. I'm going to do a little stretch from here. So core engaged, going to bring your left leg up on top of your right leg, left hand out to the side, bring your right knee, your left knee over to the right hand side of your body, holding it there. And bring that leg back to the middle, taking that leg, sliding it along the floor, right leg comes up, bring that right leg over to the left hand side, holding it there. Make sure you're breathing into your stretches. And then bring that leg back. Bringing both feet so they're flat on the floor next. Going to do a hamstring stretch. So you're going to bring your right foot up into the band. Now the band needs to be further towards your heel than your toe so you get a nice muscular stretch. You're going to bring that band up. Then you're just going to gently bring that leg in until you can feel that stretch in the body of your hamstring, holding it there, just breathing into your stretch. So this is a developmental stretch, so we're going to hold it for 30 seconds, which we've nearly done, and then we're going to develop it for a further 30 seconds. So we're ready for our development. So toes to your face, bring that leg a little closer. Remember, if you get a fizzy foot, you've taken it too far, let it off a little bit. So really feel that stretch in those hamstrings. Then from here, you're going to put the band into your left hand, guide that leg over to the left hand side of your body. So the stretch has now moved to the outside of that leg, holding it there. Again, we're going to develop it. So developing that stretch, bringing it a little bit closer. Bring that leg back to the middle, right hand on the band, let that leg fall out to the right hand side. Really important your left hip stays on the floor and doesn't roll towards that right leg, holding it there, breathing into your stretches. And bring that band back to the middle, opening the band up, other foot in the band, right foot back to flat on the floor. Remember, band is around the back of your heel, not round your toes, and then just pulling that band in, taking that stretch, feeling it in the body of those hamstrings. Holding there a little bit longer, now developing. And placing that band in your right hand, guiding it over to the right hand side of your body, feeling that stretch in the outside of that leg now, holding it there, breathing into your stretches. You just bring it a little bit closer, holding it there. Then bring that leg back to the middle, placing that band in your left hand. Let that leg fall out to the left hand side. Keep that right hip on the floor. And then bring it back to the middle, bring that band off your foot, give yourself a full body stretch. And then coming back up to sitting. Thanks for joining my gentle mobility and strength resistance band class today. I hope you found it really beneficial. Leave me a comment below if you did, or if you've got any questions about how to use resistance bands to improve your training or come back from injury. I'm really keen to try and help you get as much as you can out of your home workouts. Please subscribe to my channel at Beyond the Studio Pilates for videos weekly that you can do from wherever you are, whenever you like. Also hit the little bell button, which is the alert, so you get a update when I've released a new workout. Have a super day, and I'll see you on a mat again very soon, I hope. Bye.